Welcome to the news here on IETV and to our viewers on IETVTT.com. I'm Micah Dume. Thanks for joining us. In the headlines, Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar says EU delisting signals renewed confidence in Trinidad and Tobago's financial system. Minister of Rural Development and Local Government Khadija Amin leads post-carnival cleanup as focus shifts to beaches. Prime Minister of India Narendra Modi invites newly sworn-in Prime Minister Tariq Rahman for official visit to strengthen ties. In our top story, Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar said Trinidad and Tobago's removal from the European Union list of non-cooperative jurisdictions for tax purposes marked a major step forward for the country and signaled renewed confidence in its financial system.
Trinidad and Tobago had recently been removed from the EU blacklist, a designation applied to countries that failed to meet international standards for tax transparency. This was a major step forward, the Prime Minister said. She noted that the previous PNM administration had failed to take necessary action to secure compliance and removal, and that since assuming office, her UNC government moved swiftly and decisively to correct the issue. Though legislative reform sustained international engagement and strong institutions, we restored credibility and rebuilt trust, she added. The Prime Minister said being blacklisted had constrained investment, limited opportunity, and weakened confidence in the country's financial system. In less than a year, her government strengthened the country's laws, enhanced transparency, and put Trinidad and Tobago back on the right track. Removal from the list signaled clear to the world that we had met our commitments and reclaimed our standing on the global stage. We inherited an economy under real strain with fiscal pressures high and confidence low, but we promised action and we delivered. Investor interest rose, confidence returned, and momentum built. Trinidad and Tobago was open for business, compliant, and ready for sustainable growth.
Post-carnival cleanup efforts are continuing nationwide, led by the Ministry of Rural Development and Local Government through the National Program for Upkeep of Public Spaces. Minister Khadija Amin said the focus is now shifting to the country's beaches as both local and international visitors head to coastal areas to enjoy the sun and sand. She noted that the ministry is prioritizing cleanliness and maintenance at these recreational spaces to ensure a safe and welcoming environment for all.
As Minister, I took time to talk to the workers, our employees who were out there on the ground, as well as the coordinators. And thus far, I want to take this opportunity to commend all our workers who made the sacrifice, who went all out to ensure that our streets were clean and safe throughout the country.
The 2026 Road March competition has officially been decided, with Soca star Machel Montano securing a historic victory. President of the Trinbago Unified Calypsonians organization, Ainsley King, announced the official results a short while ago, confirming Montano as this year's winner. Montano secured the title with his hit song Encore, which was played 171 times across the carnival route, earning him a historic 12th Road March victory, the most in the competition's history. His closest challenger, Aaron Voice St. Louis, placed second with Can't Behave, which recorded 127 plays. Third place went to Ian Bungie Garland Alvarez, whose song Roadman was played 97 times. The announcement brings the 2026 Road March competition to a close, further cementing Machel Montano's dominance and legacy in Trinidad and Tobago's carnival history.
The Tuco Road March 2026, starting at third place. In third place, we have Ian Alvarez, Bungie Garland, song Roadman, played 97 times. In second place of the Tuco National Road March for 2026 is Aaron St. Louis, Voice, Can't Behave, played 127 times. And ladies and gentlemen, our road march for 2026 in the National Tuco Road March competition is Marshall Montano, encore played 171 times.
We pause for a moment. More news when we come back.
Perfection doesn't happen by chance. Like an artist, the cook selects the main ingredient, one that is worthy of a proud cultural tradition. Trusted to enhance your creations with its richness and versatility. To create a cooking masterpiece, the secret is simple. The brand we know, the brand we trust, the brand our ancestors have been using for generations.
There is only one pure cow brand ghee. Look for the marks of authenticity.
Tile Expressions Limited, as one of the largest importers of tiles, offers an extensive range of high-quality tiles in ceramic, porcelain, granite, stone, and mosaic options. Additionally, we offer a variety of tile accessories and bathroom sets to complement any decor style. We are committed to providing exceptional customer service and swift delivery of all products. From indoor and outdoor tiles to bathroom sets and tile accessories, we have curated a range that caters to both traditional and modern taste. Lampus 13, Ajudha Road, Munro Road, Canopio. Call 223-8453.
Welcome back. Minister of Defense Wayne Stage highlighted the role of the Trinidad and Tobago Defense Force in supporting the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, ensuring wide security visibility across major carnival corridors. Speaking during a walkabout amid carnival festivities in Port of Spain on Carnival Tuesday morning, the minister said this level of coordination could potentially continue even after Carnival 2026.
We have the CDS and the commanding officer of the regiment here with us. We have already dealt with the plans, the strategic positioning and so on. You see members here in uniform. There are also members not in uniform providing security. So we are in essence giving a sort of buffer to the police in terms of numbers. If you compare this year to other years, I think this is, in terms of the incidents, there's only one incident, and you would understand no part of the world the police could be omnipresent. So that one incident at Juve morning is the only incident of significant note. The one in La Hoqueta, I don't believe that was carnival related. So in essence, the police and the entire security apparatus they've done well so far. So I am very satisfied. I think we have to congratulate the Commissioner of Police and the Gold Commander, who I always know from court has been very efficient. So I think they've done a good job. Yes, and at the same time, you know, life is not perfect. And that's the perfection of life. You always have things to rejigger. So we'll see what needs to be improved upon. I haven't seen that much. In terms of what happened Juve morning with the teenager, I think that's not something we could have dealt with. We tried to rescue him and so on. But if we get more cameras on the road and so on, we might be able to have a little more, you know, in terms of interdiction. But I was out on the avenue yesterday and other parts, and there were police officers and Defence Force officers stationed at almost every corner. So I think you can't get much better than that.
As Ash Wednesday is being observed today, marking the beginning of Lent, a solemn season of sacrifice, reflection, and spiritual renewal for Christians across Trinidad and Tobago and around the world. Lent, a sacred 40-day period of prayer, fasting, and repentance, opens today as worshippers gather in churches to receive ashes on their foreheads in the shape of a cross. The ashes, traditionally made from palms burned after last year's Palm Sunday, serve as a reminder of human mortality and the call to repentance, with the words often spoken, "Remember that you are dust, and to dust you shall return." The season commemorates the 40 days Jesus Christ spent fasting in the wilderness before beginning his public ministry. In keeping with that example, believers are encouraged to fast, pray, and give alms, supporting the poor and vulnerable. Many Christians also choose to give up personal comforts such as sweets, alcohol, or social media as an act of discipline and spiritual focus. The Lenten journey leads to the most sacred observances in the Christian calendar, including Palm Sunday, Holy Thursday, Good Friday, and Easter Sunday, which celebrates the resurrection of Christ. Throughout the season, churches will host special devotions such as the Stations of the Cross, penitential services, and community outreach programs. Coming just days after the country's vibrant carnival celebrations, Lent represents a profound spiritual shift from festivity to fasting and from revelry to reflection. Clergy across denominations have encouraged believers to see Lent not merely as ritual but as a time for genuine transformation, fostering compassion, forgiveness, and unity within families and communities. As Ash Wednesday is observed today, the season of Lent begins with a reminder that renewal often comes through sacrifice and that hope and resurrection lie ahead at Easter. A woman was found hanging at her Karapo home on Monday, 16 February. The deceased has been identified as 34-year-old Samantha Mohammed. Police reports state that around 9 p.m. Mohammed's mother contacted authorities after discovering her daughter unresponsive at their home. According to the report, the mother last spoke with Mohammed at approximately 1 p.m. on Monday, February 16th, leaving her resting in her bedroom. At around 6 p.m., she noticed the bedroom door was locked and received no response after calling out. She forced open the door and found Mohammed seated with a cord around her neck and earplugs in her ears. Emergency health services were immediately notified and CPR was administered. However, Mohammed was pronounced dead. Investigations are ongoing. Lost Tribe has done it again, capturing both the Large Band of the Year and Overall Band of the Year Carnival titles for 2026. Lost Tribe secured its fourth consecutive Large Band of the Year victory with its presentation Island Circus, which earned 1,351 points from the judges. Second place in the large band category went to Trinidad All-Stars Steel Orchestra with Sailors Ashore in Japan, while Paparazzi Carnival finished third with Elope, Destination I Do. The results further cement Lost Tribe's dominance on the carnival stage as the band once again topped the competition both in its category and overall.
149 points. Registration number LG97, Paparazzi Carnival, Elope, Destination I Do. In second position, 1,173 points. Registration number LG184, Trinidad All-Stars Orchestra, Sailors Ashore in Japan. And our first place Large Band of the Year 2026 with 1,351 points. Registration number LG179, the Lost Tribe, Island Circus.
You're watching IETV News. We'll return after these messages.
Attention all bakers, doubles vendors and roti makers. Try our high-quality bromate-free, all-purpose and whole wheat flour. Low price and conveniently packaged in 2 pounds, 2 kg, 10 kg and 25 kg bags. For wholesale and retail prices, contact Shiklisho Limited at 665-3336 or 480-8715 or visit us at Warrenville, Canoopia. Shiklisho Limited, quality you can trust.
Are you renewing your motor, homeowner or business insurances shortly? Then call Kalyani Limited, agency for Tatil, for a competitive quote. With 2 locations, Todd Street, El Socorro and 5 Rivers, Aruca. Please call us at 221-5051 or 227-5051. Kalyani Limited, agency for Tatil, building relationships exceeding expectations.
Welcome back. The United States military has launched a series of deadly maritime strikes targeting suspected narco-terrorist operations across the Caribbean and Eastern Pacific, killing 11 men. In a statement, United States Southern Command confirmed that American forces carried out 3 separate kinetic sea strikes late on February 16th, targeting vessels allegedly linked to designated terrorist organizations involved in drug trafficking. The operation was conducted under the direction of Commander General Francis L. Donovan and executed by Joint Task Force Southern Spare, focusing on established narcotics trafficking corridors in the Eastern Pacific and the Caribbean. Military officials said intelligence assessments identified the vessels as actively engaged in narco trafficking activities at the time of the strikes. 4 men were killed aboard the first vessel in the Eastern Pacific, another 4 on a second vessel in the same region, while a third strike in the Caribbean resulted in 3 deaths. In total, 11 individuals described as narco-terrorists were killed. U.S. authorities confirmed that no American military personnel were injured during the operation. The strikes form part of ongoing counter-narcotics and counter-terrorism efforts aimed at disrupting transnational criminal networks operating across key maritime routes in the hemisphere. Investigations are continuing and the identities of those killed as well as the specific organizations involved have not yet been disclosed. Let's now take a look at some international news.
Bangladesh got its first elected government after Sheikh Hasina's ouster. BNP chairman Tariq Rahman has been sworn in as the country's new prime minister. From 17 years in exile to pinnacle power, Rahman is carrying on the legacy of his late mother, Khaleda Zia, and her party, the BNP. Tariq Rahman has taken the oath of office and finalized his team. A total of 25 ministers took oath alongside him. The list also has representation from Bangladesh's minority Hindu community. Veteran BNP leader Nitai Roy Chaudhry will join Rahman's new government. The BNP is returning to power after 20 years, and the enthusiasm is reflected among its lawmakers. BNP members of parliament and ministers have decided not to take government-allotted plots and cars. Early in the day, the 13th National Assembly of Bangladesh took oath. Among the members was Hasnat Abdullah, a prominent leader of the July uprising, which led to Sheikh Hasina's ouster. He took oath as a parliamentarian while wearing the same colors he wore during the protests. The oaths for the National Assembly were followed by the swearing-in of the Constitutional Reform Council. As soon as the proceedings began for the second oath-taking, independent member of parliament Rumin Faraha and the BNP's Ishraq Hossain staged a walkout from the assembly. The BNP has confirmed that none of its lawmakers will take the oath for the Constitutional Reform Council. Tariq Rahman faces 2 major challenges as he prepares to take over as Bangladesh's new prime minister. Firstly, he must address the issue of an increase in violence in the country. Bangladesh has seen a rise in political violence and violence against minorities after Sheikh Hasina's ouster. Secondly, Rahman will have to stabilize the country's relations with India. Tariq Rahman has signaled a clear desire to mend ties with India, and Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi sent a letter to him, which was delivered by the Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla, who attended the oath-taking ceremony. In his letter, the Prime Minister congratulated Rahman for a resounding victory and expressed hope for better bilateral ties. India has also invited Tariq Rahman to visit. Both of Tariq Rahman's parents have served as Bangladesh's head of state. Zia-ur Rahman and Khaleda Zia collectively ruled Bangladesh for 15 years. Zia-ur Rahman, a military ruler who served as president of Bangladesh from 1977 till his assassination in 1981, a decade after Zia-ur Rahman's death, Khaleda Zia rose to power and became the country's first woman head of state in 1991. Her term was followed by 5 years of Sheikh Hasina's rule, but she staged a comeback in 2001 and served as the country's prime minister till 2006. Now their son, Tariq Rahman, has the baton of Bangladesh. Ukraine has been firing domestically manufactured Flamingo cruise missiles on strategic Russian targets, but now Russia, in a targeted strike, has destroyed a missile hub inside Ukraine. It is seen as a big blow to Ukraine's strike capabilities. Russian forces claim to have captured 12 new settlements since the start of February. This comes as both sides are due to meet once again for talks in Geneva.
The night sky over central Ukraine torn apart by a series of high-precision Russian missile strikes aimed at the heart of Kyiv's long-range ambitions. The target was the primary assembly line for the Flamingo, the domestically produced cruise missile that has served as Ukraine's most potent weapon for deep strike operations inside Russian territory. The facility that reportedly recently ramped up production to target Russian airfields and depots was effectively neutralized. While President Zelensky has stated that some equipment was successfully relocated, the immediate loss of such a sophisticated manufacturing site cripples Kyiv's ability to mass-produce the missile. Flamingo is a Ukrainian-produced ground-launched cruise missile. With a 3,000-kilometer range, the missile can carry over 1,000 kilograms of payload. As the smoke cleared from the industrial ruins, the situation on the southern front is growing increasingly dire. Russian armored columns backed by the disruption of Ukrainian defenses have achieved rapid territorial gains. Russian artillery units and tactical missile systems are now reported to be within striking range of Zaporizhia.
Enemy units are suffering significant losses. In February, the settlements of Starokrainka, Pridorozhnoye, Zaliznichnoye, and Svetkovo, within the East Force Group's area of responsibility, came under our control.
The buffer zones that once insulated this industrial powerhouse are being ground into dust, forcing Ukrainian commanders to move defensive resources south, even as their domestic supply of heavy munitions falters. Ukraine, on the other hand, launched a swarm of long-range drones that targeted the Taman port and oil storage terminals in Russia's Krasnodar Krai. Kyiv has increased attacks on Russian energy infrastructure in recent days. Against this backdrop of escalating fighting, high-stakes trilateral talks between envoys from Russia, Ukraine and the US are scheduled to take place on Tuesday in Geneva.
Before we head to break, a quick reminder that IETV's Valentine's promotion is still on. Be sure to look out for the ad coming up next and enter for your chance to win. The winner will be announced this Friday, February 20th during our 6:30 p.m. newscast. More when we come back.
IETV's Valentine's Day giveaway. For a chance to win some amazing prizes, go to our Facebook page and tell us what's the most meaningful gesture of love you've ever given or received. Winners will be chosen from the most likes and shares. Participants must like and follow our IETV's Facebook page. Prizes are 2 vouchers for a couple for dinner from Rassam Restaurant, Heartland Plaza, valued at $400 each. A silver pendant and chain set from Kanai Rockbird Jewelers. An exquisite fashionable chain set from Vandana's Fashions, ground floor, Trin City Mall. And $250 towards motor vehicle insurance from Kalyani Limited Agency for Tatil.
During these challenging times, Dollar Value Supermarket is here for you, providing our customers with a clean, safe shopping environment. fresh produce from our farms, affordable prices, and friendly customer service. It's these values that make us not just a supermarket, but part of the community, committed to serving you and your family. Dollar Value Supermarket, your pocket-friendly supermarket. Free home deliveries from our Gasparilla and Faizabad branches.
Welcome back to IETV's Major News. Let's take a look at today's weather forecast.
In today's weather update, Wednesday, February 18th, was partly cloudy to sunny across Trinidad and Tobago with warm and humid conditions. Periods of increased cloudiness developed during the afternoon, bringing isolated to scattered showers mainly across central, eastern and southern areas, while other districts remained generally fair. Daytime temperatures reached around 32 to 33 degrees in Trinidad and near 31 in Tobago. Tonight is expected to be partly cloudy with a low to moderate chance of lingering showers, particularly over central, eastern and southern districts. Elsewhere, conditions should remain mostly settled. Winds will be light to moderate from the east, and overnight temperatures are expected to fall to around 24 to 25 degrees. Looking ahead to tomorrow, Thursday, February 19th, is forecast to be partly cloudy to occasionally cloudy with isolated showers developing during the day and a slight increase in shower activity during the afternoon. Sunny intervals will still occur and warm, humid conditions are expected to persist. Maximum temperatures are forecast to reach near 32 degrees in Trinidad and around 31 in Tobago. Looking at marine conditions, seas will slide to moderate, generally between 1.0 and 1.5 meters, occasionally reaching near 2 meters in open waters. Marine conditions are expected to remain generally favorable through Thursday, and mariners are advised to exercise normal caution.
Let's take a look at some crime news.
The Trinidad and Tobago Police Service is investigating a report of sexual assault which occurred during Juve celebrations in Port of Spain. A 34-year-old woman of Diego Martin reported that at approximately 9:08 a.m. while along Tragut Road in the vicinity of the Ministry of Agriculture building and participating with a Juve band, she was approached from behind by a male individual. According to reports, the suspect began dancing behind the victim and subsequently engaged in non-consensual sexual contact. The victim immediately pushed the suspect away as he attempted to leave the area. Security personnel attached to the band intervened promptly, detained the suspect and handed him over to responding police officers. The victim positively identified the individual, who was taken into custody and conveyed to the St. Clair police station. Investigations are ongoing. A Point Fortin man has been charged in connection with an incident of robbery with violence which occurred at approximately 7:30 a.m. in Claxton Bay on February 14th. If the victims, a 68-year-old woman and her 71-year-old husband, were at their residence when they were alerted by sounds of movement inside their home. Upon checking, they were confronted by three men. One of the suspects, who was armed with a firearm, announced a robbery. During the incident, the 71-year-old victim was assaulted and received several blows about the body, causing injuries. The assailants proceeded to rob the victims of quantities of cash and jewelry before making good their escape in an unknown direction. As a result of the investigation, the suspect was arrested and charged with 2 counts of robbery with violence. Legal advice was sought and obtained from Legal Officer Gordon. The matter is scheduled to be heard on Wednesday, 18th February at the Ajipa South Magistrates Court.
Recapping the headlines, Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Bissessar says EU delisting signals renewed confidence in Trinidad and Tobago's financial system. Minister of Rural Development and Local Government Khadija Amin leads post-carnival cleanup as focus shifts to beaches. Internationally, Prime Minister of India Narendra Modi invites newly sworn-in Prime Minister Tariq Rahman for official visit to strengthen ties. Well, this is where we leave you for now. On behalf of the entire news team, I am Micah Dume. Thank you for joining us.